Graduation is a special time when we see all the promise and optimism in the next generation of leaders from Chicopee. Graduation is also the time to recall the solid decisions and planning that makes this next step so very special. Not just to our graduates, but to all their families. At Aldenville Credit Union, we salute all our graduates. And as we have for over 50 years, we stand ready to help those dreams of the future turn into reality. Aldenville Credit Union.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you the class of 1992.
It is my honor to introduce to you Rachel Ann Ilnicki from the class of 1992 to sing the national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were glad, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is my honor to introduce Reverend Richard A. Cullen of the Faith United Methodist Church to deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Creator God, we thank you for the gift of learning and for the many people who have been our teachers throughout our lives, for parents and grandparents, for siblings and friends, and of course, those who have actually been called teacher. Help us to remember that today does not represent the end of the learning process for those who graduate, but instead signifies but the end of one phase of what is a lifelong journey. May each one here go forth with the strength and help of God Almighty to meet the demands of the present and of the future. Bless now this time. May it long be remembered as a time of significant accomplishment for each graduating student. May it be a time for thanksgiving, for reflection, and also a time of celebration. Bless each one here, we pray. Amen.
Mayor Chessie, Chairperson Wojcik, Superintendent Curry, Pastor Cullen, Father Leclerc, Principal Cusdo, honored platform guests, parents, friends, teachers, and finally, greetings to the class of 1992. Robert Frost, one of America's most famous poets, often traveled the roads of New England. He wrote a poem, The Road Not Taken. It is a poem about decision-making, which I would like to read to you. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler, long as I stood and looked down as far as I could, to where it bent in an undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. and that has made all the difference. Like Frost, you and I are now faced with such a decision. Which road should we follow? The well-traveled road, easy to pass, is attractive to us. There will be few problems, much help along the way, and the experience of others to fall back on. This road offers security, few surprises, and much happiness for those who choose it. The less traveled road, difficult to pass, is also tempting. This path has many obstacles to surmount. Fewer people can help you on your way, and you will have to rely on your own instincts to get you to the next crossroads. Happiness will also lie at the end of this road if you decide to choose it. Frost took the less traveled road. For him, it made all the difference. We must choose a path to follow now. This is our first major decision we will make for ourselves. We have the help of our parents, teachers, and friends, but in the end, we will make this decision about our future alone. Both roads before us offer similar challenges and experiences, but each road will require different skills, abilities, and attitudes from us. When we make the choice, like Frost, we won't be turning back. I wish for all of us that the roads we choose are right for each of us. Some will choose college, some the service, some the world of work. Others will choose marriage, children, and family life. Whatever road you decide, travel it with determination. Don't look back. Trust your decisions and make the best of each day. And when we meet again, 5 years from today, we can share the stories of our diverging roads. I wish you happiness and success, and somewhere, ages and ages hence, I hope you can tell me that the road you chose has made all the difference. Thank you.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Mayor Joseph J. Chessy.
Thank you very much. Superintendent Curry, Chairman of the School Committee, Marge Wojcik, Alderman Croto, members of the clergy, Mitch Cusdell, Principal at Chicopee Comp, faculty at Chicopee Comp, family, friends, but most of all, the 1992 graduates of Chicopee Comp. I bring you greetings from the city of Chicopee. Before I start, I'd just like to mention that I am getting a complex this year at all these graduations. I showed up at Elms College, and Sister Mary Dooley greeted me by saying, "I hope it's under 2 minutes." And I had about 3 people ask me today, "It's not a long one, is it?" No, it's not going to be a long one. Today marks the first real milestone in your lives, your high school graduation. It is a noteworthy event because in many ways it marks your entrance into adulthood. You enter into a world that has seen some dramatic changes, most notably the end of the Cold War. As a young child, I watched the start of the Cold War. I witnessed the Cuban Missile Crisis and the building of the now toppled Berlin Wall. It seemed that the world was always going to be divided. Some spoke then of a united world and a world economy, but those rumblings were dismissed as the talk of idle dreamers. Today you have seen those dreams become a reality. As you become adults, you must compete in this united world, and the competition is stiff. Education is your key to success in this competition. Today you receive one symbol of educational achievement, your high school diploma. You have spent the last 4 years in attaining this diploma, and to this event, your Chicopee Comprehensive High School has provided you with the best possible education. It is now up to you to see to it. The city of Chicopee is proud of its dedication to providing a sound education to its children. Speaking to the graduates of our high schools has been the highlight of my 5 years in office. Your accomplishments, both now and in the future, provide verification that our commitment to education is not wasted. As you enter the workforce or go on to higher education, always strive to perform at the highest level. You will find that your entire life is a learning experience. Never close your mind to new ideas, for these ideas have resulted in some of the greatest achievements of man. The world is truly your backyard and provides endless opportunities to learn and achieve. Take advantage of every opportunity available. On behalf of the City of Chicopee, congratulations and good luck.
With great pleasure, I introduce Mr. Herbert H. Curry, Superintendent of Schools, for the opening of graduation exercises.
Reverend clergy, Mayor Chessy, Mrs. Wojcik, Mr. Kuzdal, Mr. Gray, platform guests, administrators, faculty, family, friends, and certainly members of the class of 1992. I'll take a cue from Mayor Chessy. Mine will be short also. Very, very soon, each one of you will walk up here to receive your diploma, signifying the successful completion of your public school education. I'd like to be able to tell you that once you get this diploma in your hand, employers will be knocking on your door offering you jobs, colleges will be competing for your attendance, and everything's going to be great. You're going to live happily ever after. I think we all realize that I can't tell you that because that's not the way it is. It's not true. You're graduating into some difficult times. This morning's paper had 2 pages on environmental issues that affect all of us. We've all been touched by unemployment. We certainly have been affected by spiraling costs, shrinking dollar. You're going to face issues or situations that the graduates of 10 years ago didn't have to deal with. Part of this is our responsibility. When I say ours, I'm talking about my generation. We certainly didn't do a very good job of preparing things for you. Although it's not all doom and gloom, there certainly is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's some hope. Actually, the hope is you. You have the opportunity to do something about it. You don't have to settle for what's there. You don't have to accept what's out there. You can make the change. You can do something to make this whole thing turn around. It depends entirely on what you want to do. In the course of your 4 years at Chicopee Comprehensive, I'm sure you took hundreds of tests. You probably had your fill of quizzes, tests, and exams. Unfortunately, the most important test you have to face is coming up now. Whatever you do with it certainly is going to have a tremendous impact upon your life. What's the solution? Well, actually, you can do a couple of things. Number one, you can sit back and wait for something to happen. Or number two, you can make something happen. I certainly hope that you would want to take option number two, and that is make something happen. I'm firmly convinced that each and every one of you have the capability of doing just that. You can make change. Take whatever ability you have, put a little confidence in there and some perseverance, and you can make some positive change. About a week or 10 days ago, there was a column in one of the Boston papers. The columnist directed her entire column toward this year's graduates, which certainly isn't unusual, especially at this time of the year. What was unusual was what she used to prove her point. She used a book. Now, I'm certain this was not one of the books that was on your English 12 reading list. This was a children's story which you probably read or had read to you years ago about the little train that could. I'll give you a brief book report. There was a steep incline. People thought that the train couldn't make it. The train thought it could. To make a long story short, it did. And went chugging off into the sunset, puffing, I know I can, I know I can. Mrs. Baker will grade me on the book report later. The theme of the entire column, or the point she was trying to make, certainly is this is the attitude today's graduates have to have. They have to know that they can. Not think they can, know they can. I think you've got to know a lot of different things. I think you've got to know that you can do anything you want to do and be anything you want to be. It certainly takes a little bit of desire, takes a little bit of hard work and perseverance. I think you have to know that you can succeed if you keep trying. I don't know, I think it's impossible not to get better if you do something over and over again. I think you have to know that you can try something, and if it doesn't work out, leave it, do something else. Excuse me. You know, a job isn't like school. You don't have to finish. Some people get into a situation and they really dislike it. You've got to do a couple of things. You've got to give it a fair chance. Maybe what you don't like is the newness or the change. Give it a fair chance. If, in fact, it still doesn't work out, do something else. You're never going to do your best at something you don't like. I think you've got to know that you can work anywhere you want. Now, that's kind of funny saying that in today's economic climate, and we know what the unemployment situation is. I don't know of an employer who isn't willing to give someone a chance, who is willing to work long hours, put in the effort, and try to improve themselves. If you have those qualities, you're going to get the job. I think you've got to know that you can work at something and fail and still not be considered a failure. Beverly Sills, a world-renowned opera singer who has since retired from the New York Metropolitan, was quoted as saying, "You may be disappointed if you fail, but you're doomed if you don't try." I think this is pretty good advice. Give yourself a chance. Please, give yourself a chance to succeed. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Don't underestimate what you can do. Take whatever talents and abilities you have, use them in a positive way. Positive things will happen. I think you really owe this to yourself and certainly to your family. In conclusion, on behalf of the Chicopee Public School Administration, please accept our sincere congratulations and also our best wishes for a healthy, happy, and successful future. Have a great evening tonight and a safe one. Good luck to each and every one of you.
It is my pleasure now to introduce the class of 1992 salutatorian, Melissa Michelle Goodenough.
At this time, we're going to call upon Mr. and Mrs. Goodenough to present this medal for the outstanding work that Melissa has done at Chicopee Comprehensive High School. She is a salutatorian, and we are deeply honored with the fine work and for the outstanding efforts that she has contributed not only to the school, but also in the community. Mr. and Mrs. Goodenough, would you please step forward?
Mayor Chessie, Chairperson Wojcik, Superintendent Curry, Reverend Cullen, Reverend Leclerc, Principal Cusdell, Vocational Director Gray, platform guests, parents, friends, and fellow members of the class of 1992, good evening. Someone once said, "Today is the first day of the rest of your life." Tonight, we, the class of 1992, will begin the rest of our lives. As we graduate, we step into the real world, a challenging, changing, promising, and undecided world. We will come out from the sheltered life of adolescence to find a new independence. We will look for a job, enter college, or enter the military. These challenges and this independence may pose a threat to some of us, but we should realize that the knowledge and wisdom we have gained in high school will help us along the way. At COMP, we have developed skills other than reading, writing, and arithmetic that will be valuable in tomorrow's world. Some of us have learned to speak a second language. Others have learned business skills, such as typing, taking shorthand notes, or keeping accounts. Still others have learned vocational skills, including welding, automotive repair, and electronics. As a class, we have learned to work together and relate to each other. As we leave COMP, we enter an ever-changing world. During our 4 years here, we have watched history unfold. We have watched communism and the Berlin Wall fall to pieces. We have seen U.S. troops fight in a foreign land to defend the rights of democracy. We have watched banks close and people succumb to the AIDS virus. We have seen Nelson Mandela released from prison. We fought drug abuse, homelessness, and racial tensions. We argued over censorship and struggled to find a true meaning for obscenity. We helped Chicopee celebrate its 100th birthday and welcomed home over 10,000 troops from the Persian Gulf. Leaving high school, we also enter a world of promise and hope. We have a reunified Germany. Scientists are making new advancements in technology. We have a more health-conscious America. We're living longer and living better. We're moving forward in our struggle to improve the environment. More people are becoming involved and volunteering their time to help each other. As our future unfolds, we will watch our world transform. Future doctors may eliminate cancer, AIDS, and even the common cold. We might see colonies living in space, underwater, or in a biosphere. New methods of transportation may abolish the need for gasoline. We may see world peace established. New jobs will be created and others will become obsolete. We, the class of 1992, will be involved in these developments. We are the future doctors, scientists, educators, and leaders of tomorrow. We will shape our world and our children's world. We are tomorrow's people. We will enter the workforce, college, or the military. Whatever path we choose, we must do so with confidence and class. We will make an impact in our world. Good luck in the future, fellow members of the class of 1992.
The Chicopee Comprehensive High School Band and alumni will now perform Allegro Animato under the direction of William E. Sittard.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the valedictorian of the class of 1992, Jeffrey William Kijak, to present the farewell.
Jeffrey Kijak is number one. He has received numerous awards, not only in the academic area, but also has been recognized in the sports fields, basketball courts, and the track as an outstanding man. He's a gentleman and a very sincere, dedicated person. So at this time, I'm going to call upon his father, James Kijak, to present this award. The two brothers behind me, sitting with Dad, were also number one in their classes at Chicopee Comprehensive High School. Quite an achievement.
Mayor Chessie, Superintendent Curry, Reverend Cullen, Reverend Leclerc, School Committee Chairperson Wojcik, Principal Kusdal, honored platform guests, parents, friends, teachers, and members of the class of 1992. Graduation is defined by the American Heritage Dictionary as the conferring or receipt of an academic diploma, marking the completion of studies. Graduation also symbolizes, for each one of us here today, both the end and the beginning. Graduation means new horizons. It means more decisions. It means a variety of new experiences. It means more achievements, and it also points toward future successes. But on the other hand, graduation also means the end of 4 years at Chicopee Comprehensive High School. It means saying goodbye to friends, to teachers, to coaches, and to others who have been very much a part of our high school experience. It means remembering those, especially family members, who have been there for us and who have shared with us both our triumphs and our disappointments. And it means accepting instant responsibility for all future decision making. Graduation is like stepping into the unknown. In the past 4 years, our class has witnessed freedom in East Berlin, followed by the breakup of the Soviet Union. We have watched live satellite transmissions of Operation Desert Storm, which demonstrated the advancements made in weapons technology and proved that Star Wars was not a fantasy. We have seen a nation consumed by the AIDS epidemic. We watched Rodney King beaten in Los Angeles. It is issues like these which we will need to address in the next few years as we approach the year 2000. Today, each one of us sets out into a new direction, some to work, some to the military service, and others to college. And each one of us carries with us a new dream for success and happiness, as well as an opportunity to make a contribution to the world in which we live. Today, we are on the cutting edge of technology, which will make a significant difference in how we live our lives. We have a chance to make a difference, not only in the areas of advanced technologies, but also in the area of human rights. And we must never forget that the rights of the individuals are truly the most important. For me, graduation symbolizes the achievement of my own personal goal. But even more important, It symbolizes the culmination of my mother's dream. And although she is not here to share it with me, she gave me the courage, strength, and determination to make it happen. Each one of you here today, at one point in your life, will face some type of disappointment or tragedy. But these situations should also work for you. And there are always lessons to be learned and acceptance, which comes from personal loss. So today, while we are together as a class for the last time, I leave you with two thoughts. One, carpe diem. Seize the day. Take the time to look around, to be grateful, and to appreciate all that you have and all that has been given to you, and live for the day. And last, in the words of Robert Frost, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. You too can make that difference. Thank you.
Now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Nicholas Corney, Youth Activities Member of the Chicopee Elks, and Mrs. Mary Ellen Channing, Advisor to the Pro Merito, to honor the Pro Merito students.
This year's class of 1992 has 30 members in their Pro Merito Society. In order to be a member of the Pro Merito Society, one must have achieved a 90 or above average for their 4 high school years. The certificate they're going to receive this evening says the Chicopee Lodge of Elks 1849 Youth Activities Committee. Certificate of Accomplishment for Pro Merito National Honor Society, awarded to in recognition for your outstanding scholastic achievement. We're very grateful for the Elks. Every year they give the plaques to our members, and we are very grateful for their support. You want me to say? Okay, come over here though. Sonia Fabres. Dawn Belanger. Tracy Brogel. Lance Bartos. Kelly Conway. David Lamoth. Maria Vore. Jeffrey Fournier. Deanna Dussault. Adam Dismaris. Melissa Goodenough. Matthew Burby. Sherilyn Rimillard. Jeffrey Kijak. Bonnie Greenwood. Peter Lebrec. Colleen Harakowitz. Jason Quinneville. Kimberly O'Neill. Jeffrey Perlak. Sarah Burke. Michael Gilbo, the President. Virginia Latrenta. John Hargis. Carrie Nicodemus. Randy Manso. Jody Klakutka. Robert Medina. Diane Gagnon. Jeffrey Dawson. Why don't you say something while they sit down?
Ms. Channing says I have 30 seconds. Each year, the Chicopee Lodge of Elks is very proud to support the youth of our community. It is a great honor for me today to hand out these promarital certificates. You all have worked hard for them. I'd like to congratulate everyone in the class of '92, and I wish you the best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Damaris Verdejo and Brian Smith will now perform in honor of the class of 1992, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday.
It is my honor to now introduce Mr. Mitchell S. Cusdell, Principal of Chicopee Comprehensive High School, for the announcement of honors.
I noticed the applause was not as great as the young singers received, and I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought they would recognize the people here by age, but I guess not. It's a distinct pleasure to announce to the audience here today, the mothers, the fathers, and friends of all of the graduates, that this class here was awarded slightly over $109,000 in scholarship assistance. If you look into the program, you'll notice that there are numerous organizations, through their efforts of having various drives, are willing to help our youth. Chicopee is unique in itself in that there is great concern for our youth and that there are many people who are willing to contribute so that our youth may be able to attend schools of higher learning. Also, if you look in the inside of the program, there are approximately 42 different colleges that our students are going to attend. It's quite an achievement, and I know that many of them are going to be recognized in time. They will not merely stop at the four-year level. There are some that will resume their education thereafter and probably seek their doctorate's degree. Also, I wish to recognize 3 graduates in the class of 1992. And just think of this great accomplishment. Honor roll, 16 consecutive terms, 4 straight years, which is quite an achievement, and they are Sarah Burke, Melissa Goodenough, Jeffrey Kijak. Would you please stand and be recognized? We thank you very much for the warm acceptance of our fine graduates.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Marjorie A. Wojcik, Chairperson, for the conferring of honors of graduation.
Mayor Chessy, Superintendent Curry, Principal Cusdell, platform guests, family and friends of our honored guests, the class of 1992. I expect that many of you feel a little unsure about the world you're stepping into now, and I don't blame you one bit. You wonder whether you'll find a decent job or be able to afford college. You'll wonder when you find someone special to care for and to care about you. Many young people before you have sat here with these same questions as they listen to graduation speakers tell them that we were now considered adults. But few before you have had to wonder whether anyone was clearly and confidently in control of the larger adult world. Many of you must wonder how to define the word adult when so many of the older humans around us seem so paralyzed. To my mind, an adult is someone who could put off and wait for the extras while working and saving for security and for reasonable self-support. An adult is thrifty and measured. An adult does not throw the grocery money away on toys and goodies like fancy cars, drugs, or tons of clothes. An adult anticipates, struggles, knows nothing comes quick and easy, and prepares for what might be around the corner. An adult knows that what's on the inside is more important than what's on the outside. An adult is not fooled by mere style and images, but is more concerned with the substance of things. An adult can tell the difference between meat and potatoes and dessert and knows which one to choose as a necessity. An adult plans and looks beyond the desires of moments and an adult knows the real thing isn't. Here tonight, I see you and your parents gathered to recognize your achievements, and I know that this is a real thing. Chicopee can be proud to have so many responsible and caring adults. As you seek your own personal definition of adulthood, you must remember to consult your memories of the real adults you have known and to follow these examples of substance. Out in the legendary real world, adults don't have all the answers today. It's hard to tell who's in charge and who the adults really are. The people who are supposed to have the answers in the so-called real world are bogged down with questions, searching, and struggling. This is not necessarily bad, but at some point, decisions and choices must be made. And too many so-called adults have still not figured that out yet. They have not learned the difference between what they really need and what they just desire. You have come of age at a time when your role as problem solvers, answer finders, and community builders is more sorely needed at any other time in my memory. You hail from a community that understands better than most what it means to be a real adult. Take that message beyond home and school now, and by your example, by your words and deeds, help this state, this country, and this world to grow up and get real. Thank you and good luck to each and every one of you. And now I think what everybody has been waiting for, by the powers given to me by the City of Chicopee and the school committee, I proclaim you the 1992 graduates.
Stacy R. Brunel. And Mrs. Liswell will present the diploma as a very fine friend to our dearly beloved senior, Stacy. Sarah Ann Shaw. Carolyn Jean Borchers, and also a student representative plaque. Jennifer Elaine Christensen. Make sure that we look there, that we don't miss anybody in here. Jeffrey William Kajak. Melissa Michelle Goodenough. Robin June Gilchrist. Jeremy Brendan Simonek. Casey Ann Corley. Mark L. Putnam. Laura Marie Veronese. We would ask the audience not to be too disruptive. Every person would like to have their name read in silence here, or at least in respectable surroundings. Julio Angel Morales. Elizabeth Aponte. Francois Jose Constantino Fernandez. Anne Marie Constantine. Lance Raymond Bartos. Tammy Ann Tugas. Christopher J. Bordeaux. Keong Hai Melo. Buzzle. Alan Wayne Buzzle. Kimberly Marie Senecal. And at this time, Alderman Croto, as a courtesy to our city fathers, they have the distinction and the honor to present a diploma to their son, Gregory Raymond Croto. Rachel Ann Ilnicki. Wade P. Guide. Nice to see you, Wade. Lee Marie Mary Turgeon. Wayne Matthew Guyette. Kim Christie Demaraki. Sonia Nomi Febres. Raymond P. Bartholomew. Karen Marie Giro. Shannon Alexandria Holobecki. Michael Houghton. He's not here, is he? Don Renee Belanger. Robert Lacquier. Tracy Lynn Brogel. Randy Lee Robert. Oops. In absentia. Elisa Diane Del Monte. David Turgeon. Colette Rachel Lozon. Thomas Charles Van Curen. Amelia Swanigan. Mentrell Bartholomew. Carmen Yvette Alvarado. Is that Alvarado? Alvarado, and I apologize. Molly Ann Bushy. Stephen J. Brunell. Catherine Lee Campbell. Shane Desrochers. Leslie Ann Carrier. Mark Jason Hebert. Charity Marie Christian. Eric John Loss. Kelly Ann Conway. Stephen Michael McCormick. Carol Ann Gauthier. Nathan J. Natupsky. Marcy Ann Guillemette. David Gerard Lamoth. Patricia Ann Camone. Steve Daniel Pond Jr. Elizabeth Ann LaBelle. Sandra Lynn Majikowski. Daniel Clee Bergeron. Shannon Michelle Murphy. Andrew Bernier. Melissa Ann Provo. Douglas John Blaney. Wendy Gail Barabani. Douglas Frederick DeGray III. Donald. Season Aurora Brooks. Michael Heatwall. Tara Christine Brunell. John Francis Hurley III. Rachel Carmen. Justin David Lemke. Melanie Ann Shagnon. Jason D. Paul. Amy Christian Como. Albert C. Provo, Jr. Welcome, Kimberly. Kimberly Dancero. Richard Slisky. Deanna Lee Dussault. Manuel E. Picarillo. Heather M. Gladue. Mark Thomas Ahern. Rachel K. Heatwall. Carlos Clemente Albuquerque. Julie Beth Hero. Matthew Thomas Browick. Tammy Marie Peralt. Scott A. Boydston. Sherilyn Mary Remillard. Jason Paul Broussard. Jody Marie Robert. Jeffrey Michael Carter. Julie Catherine Solak. Jeffrey Francis Perlak. Maria Christina Vore. Michael Ernest Crevier. Tammy Charlene Wall. Jeffrey Allen Fournier. Bonnie Jean Greenwood. Matthew Michael Hanachek. Jennifer Catherine Bean. John Daniel LeBaire. Or LeBar. I have been corrected. It's LeBar. Jennifer Bergeron. Mark A. Lapierre. Tara Marie Baritska. Timothy M. Lee. Jennifer Dolores Schweenard. Michael Mario Levesque. Heidi J. Cosinel. Michael J. Marshall. Michelle Joanne Danish. Robert Walter Maritko. Dawn Angela Dupree. Nuno Alves Nunes. Rebecca Marie Fontaine. Jason Allen Overgard. Valerie Michelle Hall. Carrie L. Rivest. Colleen Ann Harris-Kowitz. J.C. M. Rondo. Carla Marie Kopek. Oh, boy. Sergei Prevedeniak. Incidentally, this young man came from Russia some 3 years ago, and we're very proud that he was able to graduate with the class on this June 5th, 1992. Laura Alexandra Lastra. Michael Alvin Trumbell. Jennifer Rita Marshall. Jeffrey Gerard Vermette. Sandra Ann Morris. Sławomir S. Vlach. This gentleman came from Poland 4 years ago, and he did extremely well likewise. So congratulations for completing your high school diploma. Kimberly Ann O'Neill. Tracy L. Pimper. Joel J. Risley. Carrie Ann Pollender. Jeremy Jeffrey Banville. Amy R. Rabinski. Scott A. Bodwin. Kelly Jean Ryback. Matthew A. Burby. Angela Michelle Bennett. Daniel John Shagnon. Sarah Jean Burke. Troy Michael Copeland. Carrie Cromwell. Benjamin Joseph Dansereau. Michelle Marie English. Justin Paul Desjardins. Monique Jessica Flowers. Adam Michael Damaris. April Heaven Gagnon. Michael Paul Desrush. Time out. Deborah Lynn Hernke. Robert William Dugray. Jessica Gloria Kaylor. Sean Patrick Ingram. Holly Elizabeth LaRochelle. Tony M. Paquette. Stephen Andrew Jodwin. Michelle Marie Wheatley. James Francis Kwasnick. Valerie Emily Allen. I almost missed that one. Peter Francis Lebrecq. Sherry L. Arsenault. Matthew John LaFontaine. Danielle Amy Beaulieu. Jason Paul Masterakis. Amber Lee Desjardins. Dwayne Cardanius Moses. Karen Ann Gagnon. Terrence Caron Murphy. Heather Lee Lagoy. Richard R. Provo. That's Virginia. Virginia Simone LaTrenta. Jason M. Quinneville. Kelly M. Tribus. Jonathan Quinneville. Jennifer Rebecca Kader. Gregory Julian Slowick. Also another young man that came from Poland 4 years ago and achieved his diploma here today. Congratulations again. Okay, April. April Lee Ferreira. Robert James Thomas. Jody Lynn Klikotka. Ronald Stephen Van Buren. Shannon, Father was the visitor with us today, and a distinguished guest from the Chicopee Lodge of Elks would like to present this diploma to his daughter. Incidentally, this gentleman graduated from Comp in 1970. I was just checking. Thank you. Shannon Carney. You remembered. Michael Stephen Vanass. Bridget Lorraine Leclerc. Michael A. Gilbo. Monica Rose Laughlin. Anthony Bernard Comiskey. Carrie Lynn Nicodemus. Jeffrey Francis Kucher. Pamela Jane Piles. Kenneth Edward Cundiff Jr. Diane Marie Gagnon. Brian Watt. Francine Mary Greenwood. Thomas Edward Kelly. Jennifer Alice Paulin. Patrick Clarence Smith. Mary Doreen Simons. Christopher J. Villamari. Theodore Ronald Wilson. Ronald Cloutier. Jeffrey Michael Dawson. Desjeans. Daniel Laurent Desjeans. John David Hargis. Michael Thomas Lawden. Robert David Lusty. Randy Shane Manso. Robert Stephen Medina. Neil Omer DeRoy. Neil Joseph Hunt. Michael Warren Lengiza. Jeremy J. Ribberdy. Daniel Rock. Christopher James Labonte. And Jacob Ethan Bean. I wish to commend the parents. If you've noticed the graduates here tonight, they have been this subdued in all of their 4 years. I don't know what the formula was that you used, but we thank you very much. I'm going to just go through a few quotes that I had taken from the students' applications. I wouldn't want to disappoint the student body because this is their last time to listen to my short talks. And I would be remiss if I didn't show the audience and to show the parents and the community what these graduates do actually represent. Many times we hear of the bad, but I'm just going to relate to you what lies within themselves to make the world a better place. And as I had mentioned before, it is a gratifying experience to be with them. It lights my eyes and expands my heart to know that so many of you, 1992 graduates, do dare to care and do dare to help less fortunate people in our community. You are a community family. We are proud of you. The whole staff is appreciative of what you have given. Here are some excerpts from resumes submitted by the members of this class. I hope that the programs that I write will someday, somehow, help children and adults throughout their lives. I donated blood to help those who were critically ill. I consider sport activities as a very important part of education. It teaches cooperation, team play, and how not to be selfish. How not to be selfish in their lives. We learned community spirit throughout the high school years. As a nurse, I not only want to work together as a team with the doctors, but also I want to provide emotional support for the patients and their families. I hope to continue to achieve success by trying to improve and stabilize the lives of sick people. I like this one too because it pertains to Pepe's, Jaju's, grandpas. Pepe thought first of his neighbors and second of his own needs, another heritage by example that I would be given by this special man, Pepe. All Pepes, grandpas, Jajus, remember, and grandmothers too, I can't forget you, heaven forbid. You do play a vital role, whether you know it or not. I have learned that it is much better to give than to receive. For other returns may be costly, but the measure of a person's life is measured more upon substance than upon his profession. I ask that you meditate upon this when you get home. I love children, and I love working with them. Volunteer work taught me to appreciate people who volunteer their time. It has taught me to respect and love people. As a member of the debate team, I have been able to make many speeches on behalf of the homeless. I visited elderly shut-in people. My friends and I baked goods for them and just sat with them, talked with them, just to see and to make them have a smile. My family has been a constant support and encouragement to me. Don't ever forget the family members. You are the crux of life. It makes me happy to put a smile on the faces of the forgotten at our nursing homes. Soccer has given me the opportunity for college, thanks to a teacher who cared. I could have chosen less demanding courses, but I selected those that would offer the most challenges to me. Underclassmen and parents with underclassmen, please follow that example. I made a library of literary tapes for blind students at Comp and for blind people of the community. I greeted soldiers upon their return from Saudi Arabia. In the 10th grade, a group of us bought Christmas gifts for the less fortunate. I enjoyed counseling others. I would like to make a difference in someone's life someday because to me, this is reward enough for hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your children, young adults now. This is what they are inside. We are very proud of them, so let's give them a round of applause. On behalf of the staff of Comprehensive High School and the administrative staff, to each graduate, set your expectations high. Follow your goals. Whatever lies in front of you can be reached. Never give up. Never fail yourself, regardless of the obstacles or the adversities that may be placed in front of you. You can do it. I know that you will do it because we have all of the faith and all of the confidence in the world that our youth can when they make up their minds. So thank you, everyone. You are a very responsive audience, and I am very proud of the total ceremony.
On behalf of the class of 1992, I wish to thank the Chicopee Comprehensive High School Alumni Band and all the distinguished guests who attended the ceremony today. We are deeply honored by your presence. And now, by the power vested in me, as my last duty of senior class president, I now dissolve the class of 1992 into the ranks of alumni. Please remove your tassels from the left side and place them onto the right.
It is my pleasure now to introduce Reverend Lear Leclerc for the benediction.
Loving God, we give you thanks for our graduates and for all who have helped them to this moment. We ask your blessings upon them to guide their steps as they enter this new stage in their lives, that they may always continue to believe in the sun, even though, like now, it isn't shining, to believe in love, even when they feel alone, and to believe in you, even when you are silent. O divine teacher, you have called us all to the task of learning. As we give thanks for what we've learned about your world, help us all to realize that academic achievement should be a springboard to future responsibilities. The responsibility of using this achievement for effective service, the responsibility of continuing to learn from books and from people, from our successes and from our failures. And as we all strive to continue learning, please teach us over and over again how to love. Help us really to care about people. A French scientist and theologian once said, "Someday, after mastering the winds and the waves, the tides and gravity, we shall harness for God the energies of love. And then, for the second time in the history of the world, we will discover fire." May these young men and women be witnesses and contributors to that discovery. Amen.
Graduation is a special time when we see all the promise and optimism in the next generation of leaders from Chicopee. Graduation is also a time to recall the solid decisions and planning that makes this next step so very special. Not just to our graduates, but to all their families. At Aldenville Credit Union, we salute all our graduates. And as we have for over 50 years, we stand ready to help those dreams of the future turn into reality. Aldenville Credit Union.